My in-laws don't believe in real medicine and tried treating my baby with placebo. Now they're never going to see her again and telling everyone it's my fault. Posted by you/comparison adept 9322. I, 24M, and my wife, 24F, recently had our daughter in July. She is the best thing to ever happen to us, and we couldn't be more thrilled to have our little bundle of joy. She recently got sick while staying with her grandparents, my in-laws, while my wife and I took a trip for work. For context, my in-laws are really into LifeWave X39. It's some patch that supposedly helps regrow stem cells by reflecting light rays back into your body, allowing your body to produce more stem cells to fight off diseases and sickness. If you ask me, it sounds like snake oil, and my wife agrees, calling it a pyramid scheme. The only way to get said patches is by spending well over $1,000, and then you're tasked with selling the patches yourself. I've tried researching X39, and the only comments I've seen praising the product are from brand new accounts never used before or after, or from profiles entirely dedicated to shilling for LifeWave X39. From my own research, they appear to be just overpriced stickers. They contain no medication, no special UV rays, or anything of the sort. They're literally just overpriced stickers with an air bubble. My wife and I have made it very clear that we wanted no part in X39, nor did we want our daughter to have it. Even if it's fake, we wanted no part in it, and on the off chance it did something, I didn't want our daughter to be used as their lab rat or guinea pig. Now, before we left our daughter with my in-laws, we provided them with some infant medication, just in case she got sick. You can never be too safe, right? Well, we returned home from the work trip early because our daughter wasn't getting any better, so we picked her up and went home. While giving her a bath, we found an X39 patch on her arm. Upon finding it, we immediately called her parents and demanded to know why she had a patch on her. Her parents tried saying something along the lines of, "It's safe for babies." We even ordered the ones for ages 7 and younger, and it's practically medication. This still didn't answer our question. My wife checked the go bag, and although the Motrin we gave them was used, it wasn't used very much at all. Her parents claimed that someone else in their group or whatever gave it to their son, and he got better in a week. Point is, we didn't buy it nor did we care. We've made it abundantly clear that we wanted nothing to do with X39 and we didn't want our daughter to be a part of it. They failed to listen. My wife was on the phone with them for over an hour, and while I don't know the exact length of the conversation, I know it at least ended with her screaming, "You are never going to see my daughter again, and if you attempt to come to my house we will call the police," before hanging up. That was 3 days ago now, and we've had several missed calls from family members, her parents, her siblings, and even family friends, all saying that we overreacted and that they were just trying to help. Maybe we overreacted, but we wanted nothing to do with that, and despite making it clear, they went against our wishes and did it anyway. Instead of giving my daughter actual medication, they tried to give her some placebo patch. Her parents tried claiming that we're stopping them from seeing their only grandchild over something so small. But we didn't want to hear it. Are we overreacting to what her parents did? Update 1. There's been some development regarding what happened last month, and while I'm confident things will likely end here, I wanted to give a quick update for those who may have been curious. After my wife essentially cut ties with her parents, and we received a million phone calls and text messages from family and friends, things quieted down for about a week or two. We started having my sister watch our daughter instead when we had to work. We haven't had another out-of-town trip since the initial incident. During those couple of weeks, we didn't hear much beyond a few supposed posts on Facebook complaining about us, but I can't seem to find the posts. We thought things were going to end there, but boy were we wrong. My wife and I were visited by CPS about 2 weeks ago after they received concerning calls about supposed child abuse and negligence within our household. Of course, nothing like that happened, and the caseworker was very quick to see that. We asked who reported us, and while she couldn't say, we suspected it was her parents. We were completely helpful and cooperative with the caseworker. After she left that night, my wife called her mom and asked if she was the one who called CPS. Surprisingly, her mother took full accountability, but not so surprisingly tried to spin it in her favor, claiming that she did it for our own good because our daughter was sick and wasn't getting any better when she was there, so clearly, we were doing something awful as parents. My wife didn't really know how to react to that, so she basically told her mom to go screw herself and said she wants nothing to do with her again. I know I saw a few comments on the last post saying maybe we shouldn't have cut them out entirely, but now I'm starting to question why we didn't cut them out years ago, before our daughter was even a thought in our heads. About a week after the first CPS visit, my mother-in-law showed up at our house on my day off while my wife was at work and essentially demanded to see our daughter, forcing her way into our home by pushing past my arm. When I told her to get the hell out of my house and that she had no business barging in, she claimed I was unfit to be a parent because I was depriving my daughter of help she desperately needed since she was clearly a very sick child. I want to make it clear that my daughter is perfectly healthy right now, with no stuffy nose, no high temperature, nothing. I told my mother-in-law straight up that she was backtracked insane. I went off on her about how she lied to us, went against our wishes, had the audacity to call and lie to CPS, then showed up at our house unannounced and uninvited, and barged inside. I also called her out on everything about her LifeWave BS. We argued for a while before I finally got so fed up that I told her to leave my house before I called the police. She stormed out, and in true Karen fashion, said, "This isn't over," before slamming my door. I immediately called my wife, who was, of course, irate. The following morning, we filed a restraining order at the courthouse against her mom and dad because they're clearly not in their right mindset. The caseworker had to visit us a few more times over the past 2 weeks as per their guidelines, and yesterday was her last day. She informed us that we're doing well and apologized for the trouble they caused. We kept her up to speed on the life wave situation, the unannounced visit, and the restraining order. Though she couldn't really take a side, she seemed apologetic. My wife and I are pretty livid. We've started looking at houses in another state to get as far away from my in-laws as possible. Our company has offices there, so it's entirely possible we could just be transferred. We're crossing our fingers that all goes well, the restraining order gets filed soon enough, and we'll get a place clear across the country so that this will hopefully be my last update. Update 2. Hello everyone, some new things have happened, so I'll just jump right in. After my in-laws called CPS on us 5 months ago for no discernible reason other than we forbade them from seeing our daughter, things mostly quieted down. Some of you suggested that we should do more than just get a restraining order, so we bought some security cameras and had them installed all around our property. Our neighbors, who are pretty good friends of ours, were in the loop for the most part, and anytime we had to go somewhere, not only did we have video cameras recording every time someone entered our driveway displayed directly on our phones, but our neighbors also kept us updated. My in-laws stopped coming around for the first few months after calling CPS on us, but just the month before last, as we were preparing to move, they somehow got word that we planned on moving out of state and attempted to block our driveway. Her dad tried blocking the front door. Not sure what their plan was there because we have a back door and an extra side door leading from the kitchen, but I digress. Her mom blocked the driveway, stopping our U-Haul or car from leaving the property and wouldn't budge, even after we told them we would call the police. They told us they'd move if we told them where we were moving, but my wife told them that wasn't happening and they had 10 minutes to leave or we'd be calling the police. My neighbor came over during the commotion, but my in-laws still wouldn't budge. My daughter was crying during all of this while my wife was trying to console her, and my neighbor and I were attempting to remove my father-in-law from the doorway, but he wouldn't move. Eventually, my wife called the police, and I'm guessing another neighbor called them as well because they responded within mere minutes. My in-laws kept screaming that we were taking their rightful grandchild away and that we'd all be damned to burn in hell for this, but honestly, that just made me laugh. The police kept asking them to leave, but they wouldn't. Eventually, they were arrested for refusing to leave, and the police were nice enough to call a tow truck so we could back out of the driveway. Lo and behold, as the police were handcuffing my in-laws, they both had on those X39 patches, and even the police questioned them about it. But whatever, what's done is done. We were finally able to leave and move on to new adventures. We've been settled in our new house for over a month, and we're enjoying it greatly. We haven't heard from her in-laws, and they have no idea where we are. We have them blocked, but we occasionally get messages from unknown numbers or Facebook accounts asking where we moved. There's no way they're that foolish to believe we'll actually tell them. Luckily, neither my previous state nor this one has any grandparents' rights, so we're in the clear there. Hopefully, this is my last update.